Thank you all for listening and watching my videos. Please subscribe and like my channel Master Coolitz. Hoping that you will not skip my ads, it's a big help for me by not skipping it. Thank you so much. Dragon Shadow. The Rise.
In the midst of a blazing inferno, Zane Martel chanted with unwavering determination. His voice rang out steady and fierce as he summoned the powerful energy within him. The heat was unbearable. The flames licked at his skin, but he remained focused, his eyes fixed on the fiery expanse ahead.
Human Emperor's palm. Human Emperor's palm. Human Emperor's palm.
The sky echoed with explosions as 4 colossal palms struck the sea of flames. The impact was immense, sending shockwaves through the air and creating a thunderous roar that drowned out all other sounds. The flames roared and writhed as if in agony, before finally yielding and splitting apart. Suddenly, a crack appeared in the fiery expanse. Zane seized the opportunity, his movements swift and precise. He slipped through the fissure, feeling the intense heat diminish as he descended. Landing at the bottom of the cliff, he rolled to absorb the impact, his body tensed and alert. He stood on solid ground, utterly bewildered. The hellish flames above him were now a distant memory, replaced by a cool, breezy cavern. The contrast was stark and disorienting. He glanced upward, the firestorm still raging above, yet mysteriously contained by an invisible barrier that shimmered faintly in the dim light.
What is this place?
The cavern stretched out before him, more spacious than he'd ever imagined. Stalactites hung from the ceiling, glistening with moisture, while strange phosphorescent plants illuminated the surroundings with an eerie glow. The air was cool and fresh, carrying the faint scent of damp earth and unknown flora. Ahead, a dim light flickered from within a cave, casting long dancing shadows on the walls. Intrigued, Zane stepped forward, his footsteps echoing softly in the vast chamber. The path was uneven, strewn with rocks and debris. He had to tread carefully, his senses heightened, ready for any sign of danger. As he ventured deeper, the light grew stronger, revealing the outline of an enormous, decrepit black tower looming before him. The dark structure emitted an eerie, black light that sent shivers down his spine. Its surface was covered in intricate ancient runes that seemed to pulse with a life of their own, casting strange patterns on the ground.
Why is it so cold here? Could it be because of this tower?
He muttered to himself, inching closer to the tower. It was massive, towering hundreds of meters high, yet clearly in ruins. More than half of it had crumbled into rubble, the fallen stones lying scattered around its base. As Zane approached the entrance, he saw words carved into the tower's base. The letters were worn and faded, but still legible, glowing faintly in the darkness.
Demon trapping tower? Was this meant to trap demonic beasts? But it looks like anything that was inside escaped ages ago.
With a sense of foreboding, Zane entered the tower. He was taken aback to find only a single level inside. The walls were lined with ancient rusted chains and broken cages, remnants of whatever had been imprisoned here. The air was thick with ghostly energy, and ghost soldiers seemed to dance wildly in the shadows. Their forms were barely visible, flickering in and out of existence, their eerie whispers echoing in the silence. Yet due to the morning light filtering in through cracks in the walls, they remained unseen.
Is there nothing here? If this place was meant to contain something valuable, why is it empty?
Disappointed, he continued to explore the tower, finding nothing but broken stones and shattered remnants of what once was. His curiosity drove him outside, where he noticed a faint light emanating from the tower's peak. Determined, he flew towards it, the wind rushing past him as he ascended. The light grew brighter as he approached, its source a mystery that beckoned him closer. As he neared the light, he discovered it wasn't a gem but a scroll. Mystical runes danced across its surface, emitting a mysterious glow. The symbols seemed to writhe and pulse with a life of their own, casting an ethereal light that bathed the cavern in a surreal glow. Zane's heart raced as he grabbed the scroll, feeling its ancient energy coursing through his fingertips. With bated breath, he began to read, the runes translating themselves in his mind with a clarity that both astonished and excited him.
Yes, a treasure at last.
The words tumbled out of his mouth, his voice echoing in the cavern. But as he scanned the text, his initial excitement began to wane. The contents of the scroll were not what he had hoped for. His brows furrowed as the realization dawned on him.
Damn it, this isn't a martial arts technique. It's just the history of this place.
His mood darkened as he delved into the scroll's contents. The intricate runes detailed the origins of the demon-trapping tower and its creator, Master Rudolph. Zane read of how Master Rudolph had founded the Blood Lotus Island and Blood Sea, pouring his life's work into creating a sanctuary that would also serve as a prison for the most fearsome of creatures. The scroll described the construction of the tower, each stone laid with a powerful enchantment, meant to contain even the most potent of demonic energies. Among these trapped entities was the Ghost King Dragon Ape, a terrifying fusion of ghost and demon with traces of dragon blood. Zane's eyes widened as he came across a detailed illustration of the beast. Its massive frame was covered in jet black fur, and on its back was a skull pattern that seemed to leer at him. The beast's fangs were sharp and menacing, its eyes glowing with a malevolent intelligence. The sheer sight of it sent chills down Zane's spine, making him shudder involuntarily.
Master Rudolph was truly remarkable. I would have killed the beast instead of sealing it.
He whispered, awe creeping into his voice. The magnitude of Master Rudolph's power and his compassionate restraint left a profound impression on him. Frustrated by the lack of practical techniques but moved by the history, Zane decided to keep the scroll as a memento. As he prepared to depart, securing the scroll in his storage ring, he noticed a strange glow emanating from within. The light from his ring was unusual, causing the surrounding flames to waver and retreat, creating an unexpected path of safety.
What's happening?
He wondered aloud, his voice tinged with disbelief. He took out the scroll once more, realizing it emitted a cool, soothing aura that repelled the flames. The scroll's energy seemed to form a protective barrier around him, warding off the heat and creating a clear passage through the inferno. Laughing with relief, he ascended, the scroll's power enveloping him like a shield. The flames parted before him, unable to penetrate the scroll's mystical defense.
Well, this trip wasn't a total waste. At least I won't be burned alive on the way back.
His voice carried a note of triumph as he soared into the sky, the fiery landscape below receding into the distance. His mind raced with questions about what other secrets the tower might hold and what adventures awaited him next. The mysteries of the demon-trapping tower and the fate of Blood Lotus Island loomed large, shrouded in darkness and uncertainty. As he disappeared into the fiery horizon, one thing was certain: the adventure had only just begun. The tension was palpable as Grant Lang's voice cut through the chaos. His eyes darted around, taking in the scene of destruction and chaos.
Let's go. Those strange insects are still attacking Ivy Mullen. We have to go back and save her as soon as possible.
Without hesitation, Grant Lang turned around and headed back, his determination evident in every step. Lucas Young, his face set in grim resolve, was hot on his heels. The medicinal field stretched 10 kilometers, an expanse of greenery that had once been their pride. Now, it was a battleground. The moment Zane Martel fell into the abyss, the green swarm shifted their focus. Instead of pursuing the trio, they ravenously devoured the surrounding spiritual herbs, their tiny mandibles working furiously, stripping the plants down to their stems. As Grant Lang and Lucas Young reached the field, they were met with a disheartening sight. Dense clouds of insects swarmed the spiritual herbs, feasting gleefully. The air was filled with the sound of countless wings buzzing, a sinister symphony of destruction. The once flourishing herbs were now a shadow of their former selves, torn apart beyond recognition. Vibrant greens and purples were replaced with a wasteland of broken stems and shredded leaves. Pain shot through their chests as they scrambled to salvage what little remained from the green swarm's voracious jaws. Grant Lang's hand trembled as he grabbed at the ruined herbs, trying to save what he could. Lucas Young's face was a mask of concentration, his movements precise as he fought to protect the precious plants. The field, once a symbol of their hard work and dedication, was now a scene of devastation. The weight of their failure hung heavily in the air, but they pushed on, driven by the need to save Ivy Mullen. Meanwhile, Zane Martel's descent seemed endless, the cliff's bottom an elusive mystery. The wind howled past him, tearing at his clothes and whipping his hair into his eyes. The deeper he fell, the more intense the power of the Deca of Fire became, multiplying with terrifying vigor. It felt as though the very air around him was catching fire, the heat searing his skin. Suddenly, a thick and scorching sea of fire erupted from a crack, surging towards Zane Martel like a monstrous python, fangs bared, ready to consume him. The flames roared, a living entity intent on his destruction. The heat was unbearable, sucking the breath from his lungs and causing sweat to pour down his face.
Oh no, I don't have much vital energy left. If I'm hit by this flame, it's over for me. Think, Zane, think. There must be a way out.
As the fiery maw closed in, an idea struck Zane like a bolt of lightning. In an instant, his figure vanished without a trace. The air where he had been standing was filled with the scent of burning cloth and singed hair. He reappeared sprawled on the ground within the dragon prison, gasping for breath. Relief washed over him as he realized he had narrowly escaped the inferno. The cool, dark confines of the dragon prison were a stark contrast to the blazing heat outside, and he lay there for a moment, savoring the reprieve.
How could I be so stupid? I had the dragon prison with me the whole time and didn't think to use it. At least here, I'm safe from any Deca of Fire and Deca of Thunder.
Yet the safety of the dragon prison came with a catch. He would re-emerge at the same location he entered. Checking his injuries, Zane found his skin charred and his clothes in tatters. The pain was intense, but he welcomed it as a sign that he was still alive. However, the bone soul snake poison had evaporated in the intense heat, a small blessing in disguise. His skin, though burned, was free from the poison that had threatened to end his life. As he lay there, Zane contemplated his next move. The dragon prison was a sanctuary, but it was also a prison. He couldn't stay here forever, hiding from the dangers outside. He had to find a way to overcome the Deca of Fire and escape the cliff. His mind raced, considering his options and the challenges ahead. The journey was far from over, and the next steps would be crucial.
I'm too careless. Ivy Mullen will pay for this, but first, I need to recover.
With a wave of his hand, bottles of healing elixirs appeared. The shimmering vials, filled with vibrant, swirling liquids, glowed with a soft, ethereal light. Zane selected a few, uncorking them with a swift, practiced motion. He consumed them, feeling the potent mixture course through his body, mending his charred skin and fractured bones. His breathing steadied as the pain dulled, replaced by a soothing warmth. He then initiated the Sky Demon 99 transformations, an ancient technique passed down through generations. The mystical energy flowed through him, amplifying the efficacy of the elixirs and accelerating his recovery. A day passed and he submerged himself in the Beast Blood Pool, a remedy that healed his injuries and replenished his vital energy. The pool, a bubbling cauldron of rich red liquid, emitted a faint metallic scent. As Zane descended into the warm, viscous depths, the blood essence of powerful demonic beasts seeped into his pores, fortifying his muscles and bones. He closed his eyes, focusing on the energy that swirled around him, allowing it to merge with his own. The pain subsided completely, replaced by a growing sense of strength and resilience. 3 days later, fully recovered, Zane Martel contemplated his next move. The dragon prison offered temporary refuge, but he couldn't hide forever. The selection of the dragon envoy of Carlton was imminent, and he needed to escape the cliff. The pressure of the looming deadline gnawed at him, but he forced himself to remain calm. There had to be a way to overcome the obstacles before him.
I must get out of here, but the Deca of Fire is too strong. I need to master the power of thunder to its fullest.
Sitting down, Zane Martel retrieved the Thunder Spiritual Fruit, its lightning-infused essence crackling in his grasp. The fruit was a brilliant blue, veins of silver lightning dancing across its surface. As he brought it closer to his lips, he could feel the static energy prickling his skin. He consumed the fruit, feeling its raw power surge through him like a bolt of lightning, electrifying his very soul. The intense energy made his heart race, and his muscles twitch involuntarily. He began to focus, drawing the chaotic power inward, seeking to understand and control it. Hours turned into half a day, but he remained unsatisfied. His frustration grew as he struggled to grasp the elusive nature of the thunder's power. Grabbing another fruit, he pressed on, determined to succeed. The potent vital energy propelled him to the late stage of the second level of the expert level. Still, it wasn't enough. The power of thunder seemed just out of reach, taunting him with its potential.
Almost there, just a little more. What am I missing?
With unwavering resolve, Zane Martel consumed the remaining thunder spiritual fruits. The violent energy coursed through him like a ferocious dragon, crackling and snapping within his veins. His aura intensified, propelling him to the middle stage of the third level of the expert level. Golden lightning danced around his body, illuminating the dark confines of the dragon prison. Finally, he felt a breakthrough, the power of thunder in major completion.
I've done it. Power of thunder in major completion.
Energized, Zane Martel leaped out of the dragon prison. The Deca of Fire, now aware of his presence, surged from all directions, attempting to engulf him. The flames roared, hungry for his flesh, but Zane stood his ground, confident in his newfound power.
Human Emperor's Palm.
With a powerful slap, the fire was momentarily halted, giving Zane the chance to dive deeper into the cliff. The impact of his attack sent shockwaves through the air, creating a temporary barrier against the relentless flames. Calculations made in the dragon prison suggested he wasn't far from the bottom. Rather than exiting through the entrance, he decided to find a way out from below. The descent was steep and treacherous, but Zane was undeterred. Before him lay an unbroken sea of fire. The flames danced and flickered, a living barrier that seemed impossible to penetrate. If there wasn't a way through, he would create one. Summoning the power of thunder within him, he prepared to carve a path through the inferno. But what perils awaited him at the bottom of the cliff? Would his newfound power be enough to secure his escape, or would he face an even greater threat? The answers lay beyond the flames, and Zane was ready to face whatever came next.